Hello, future biostatisticians. I am Michael Hill. I am one of your instructors for the upcoming biostatistics class. I am going to be the lead instructor at Immersion. And first, I just want to tell you, take a deep breath. I know that as soon as you saw the email that this video was attached to having to do with biostatistics, some of your anxiety levels started to rise. And I just want you to take a moment and calm down. This is going to be fun. Yes, I've said it. Biostatistics is fun, and you are going to be successful in this class. Why? Because we are here to help you. The first thing that we need to do moving toward biostatistics coming up in summer session 1 is prepare you for immersion. And in just a few weeks, I'm going to be seeing all of you in May in Irvine. So this presentation is about how to prepare for immersion, because my goal for you is for you to be successful, to have a good immersion and come away with a solid understanding of biostatistics and what you need to do to be successful in this class. So the agenda for this brief presentation, I'm going to provide a little bit of an introduction, and then I'm going to walk you through how to prepare, because you are going to be successful at immersion. I'm going to give you a little bit of the rationale of why we do immersion in week 1, and then I'm going to give you a handy checklist that has also been attached to this email that you can go through to make sure that you have kept yourself on track and are ready to go when you arrive at the Brandman campus in Irvine on May 1st. So, as I said, I am Michael Hill. I am the lead instructor for this biostatistics class. I'm going to be joined by Dr. Don Beisel. Many of you have had him in other classes, and together we're going to take you through this biostatistics experience. First step is you're going to come to Irvine. May 1st, you're going to fly, drive, canoe, whatever it takes to get there. You're going to come to the Brandman campus in Irvine, and we're going to start learning biostatistics. But before you get there, there are some things that you need to do in order to be successful. Step 1, get logged into Blackboard early. Blackboard should become available on the Friday before immersion. Head in there, go into course information, review the syllabus, and review the course schedule. Even print out a copy to hang on the wall, your favorite work area. It serves as a great checklist, and if you bring it to immersion, I'll even give you my autograph on it. That will be very helpful to you to make sure you stay on track through this course. Then go to week 1. Get ahead by doing the reading and start to watch those SPSS videos. That will be very, very helpful. Then you're going to walk through the immersion checklist. Before you get to Irvine, you need to have downloaded SPSS. Current version is 24. Anything greater than about version 22 will be fine. You're going to download the grad pack for SPSS. This is the program that is going to help you with all of the statistical calculations in biostatistics. I am not going to be asking you to memorize very much for this class. You're not going to have to do formulas on a slide rule. You're not even going to have to bring a calculator with you. All you need is SPSS. So download SPSS, get it installed. It is really important that you do this before you get to Irvine. We're not going to have time. There's so much to cover at immersion that we're actually not going to have time to do the SPSS installation right there on campus. So make sure you walk through the process, and I'm going to give you a little video tutorial on how to do that. Then get ahead by completing the readings for the week. The more you can prepare for the readings that we're going to be doing during week 1 of the class, the better off you're going to be, because then you can focus on the content at immersion and then relax a little bit in the evenings without having to complete any homework. Watch the SPSS videos so that you're reasonably familiar with SPSS. Some of the activities that we do at immersion are going to be designed to make you familiar with the software package so that you can use it to do the homework, and more importantly, so that you can use it later on to do your clinical scholarly projects, because that is the ultimate goal here. We want you to be prepared to complete those clinical scholarly projects. So let's talk about downloading SPSS. The first thing that you are going to do is go to this website that I've provided. There are many ways that you can buy SPSS. The reason that I recommend this one is not because we have an affiliation with Brandman, not because I have any connection to the site, but because out of all of the websites that I have found, they have the best technical support. If you have a problem, you can call them and they'll help, which is pretty rare these days for technical support. So head over to onthehub.com. You should see that up there on your screen now. And what you want to do is head on in, and you're going to scroll down. see, until you see IBM SPSS Statistics 24. Go ahead and click on that, and it's going to come up and it gives you a whole bunch of different options here. Click the Buy Now option. And this is where things start to get tricky. A couple of very specific steps to make sure that you do. Step number 1, make sure you've selected the correct platform. You know whether you have Windows, that's a PC, or a Mac. You need to make sure that you've purchased the correct one for either PC or a Mac. Okay. Then you need to make sure that you have purchased the SPSS Statistics Standard Grad Pack. Okay, those are the two options down here on the bottom. Standard Grad Pack. Do not buy the base Grad Pack. Buy the Standard Grad Pack. It comes in two options, a 6-month rental or a 12-month rental. For most of you, the 12-month rental is going to be the better idea because in a 12-month period, that's when you're going to be completing your clinical scholarly project. If you purchase the 6-month option and your clinical scholarly project is not done within those 6 months and you are going to be trying to use SPSS and the data, you're going to have to buy another license. So it's better to buy the 12-month rental now. That way you can use it for your CSP later than it is to have to repurchase again at a later time. Okay, so pick the one that you want. So I'm using a Mac in this example. I'm going to pick Mac. Okay, and then I'm going to go down here to SPSS Statistics Standard Grad Pack 24 from Mac, and I'm going to hit Add to Cart. Okay, now, most of you will not have purchased from On the Hub before, so you're going to go to this Register option. On the Hub is very straightforward and will walk you through the entire process if you're using a school-based email. So make sure that you are with a standard school-based, that's an EDU email address, you all have one of those, and press Continue. And then you're going to put in that school-based email address. So it's going to be whatever your email is at mail.brandman.edu. And then press Continue. Now, I've already done this through SPSS, so I can't go through the process here again. However, this will walk you through the entire process for purchasing SPSS. If you run into problem, there's always the help option up here on the Hub, or I would like to introduce you to my friend, Professor Google. You can go into Google for almost anything that we do in this class and type in buy SPSS on onthehub.com, and it will give you a ton of example videos and information related to buying SPSS on the Hub. Okay, so there's no reason that any of you should run into trouble, but if you do, I'm here for that. Send me an email. If you can't get what you need from the On the Hub help, if you're running into trouble making the purchase, send me an email and I would be happy to help you to the best of my ability. But make sure that you're using On the Hub. I'm not going to be able to help so much if you're using a different website. Now, next on our list is why are we doing immersion in week 1? This class has a week 1 immersion because it's really important for statistics to make sure that you have all of the right foundation set to be successful in the class. We're going to talk about the expectations. We're going to get your familiarity with technology going on. We're going to refresh statistical concepts. You're going to get direct contact with me and with Dr. Beisel. And we're going to help you get started on the assignments. You're not going to be able to leave on Thursday until you have a very solid start on one of the major assignments in this class, and we're here to help. The other thing that is really important about immersion in week 1 is we want to help kind of relieve some of the anxiety that we know is going on in biostatistics. Statistics, math phobia is a real thing. I completely understand that. As somebody that's taught it for a while and who does a lot of quantitative research work, statistics is not comfortable for everybody, and I'm going to help you with that. I want to make sure that before you leave campus on Thursday, you understand what's expected of you in this class and you feel like it's doable. And if by the time we hit Thursday, you're not feeling that, we need to have a conversation so that I can help you get there, because I think that's really important as we go in to the 8 weeks of the class. Now, I know that many of you talk to other students and you've heard about statistics and about the course, about how hard biostatistics is, maybe even from some of the other professors. And that's completely okay. But remember, that's not always the most accurate way to get your information. I really want to encourage you to approach this class with an open mind so that you can be successful on your own terms. And the most important thing that you can do, whether your instructor is me or whether it's Dr. Beisel, is if you have problems, if you have questions, if you have concerns, talk to us. Send us an email. I'm going to have office hours set up. You can meet with me in Adobe Connect. I'll walk you through problems. I'll help you with assignments. I'll do whatever we need to do to help you be successful in this class. But you just have to ask. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. This is an example of the course outline. I do want to make sure to stress to all of you that it's important that we get things off to a good start, because as you can see from the outline, there's really something due every week. We don't have too much time to figure out SPSS and Immersion because we're really going to be trying to get things started on these assignments so that you can get everything done and be successful, get that grade that you want in the class. But I really want to make sure that you all understand that this is still a full statistics class. As with all of Brandman's classes, we're taking a 16-week semester and we're crunching it down into an 8-week term. This is a 3-unit semester class, and a normal 3-unit semester class would take the whole 16 weeks. We're condensing that down into 8 weeks. So be prepared to work. That's one reason that we really make sure, or try to make sure, that students aren't taking any other classes along with biostatistics. If you run into trouble, though, make sure that you let us know. Okay? Here is your checklist. This will help you understand what it is that you need to do when we hit the ground at Immersion. So first thing that you need to make sure that you do when you arrive at Immersion, you've got SPSS installed on your computer and you know how to open it. Download it from on the hub, watch the tutorials. That will be very helpful. You watched all of those tutorials in week 1. There you go. You've watched the video in week 1 in Blackboard, why you should love statistics. Okay, that's going to be helpful to set the stage on why we're talking about some of the things that we're talking about in terms of quantitative literacy at Immersion. You've purchased your textbook and you have it with you at Immersion. The textbook for this course is right here, Statistics and Data Analysis for Nursing Research by Denise Pollitt. Make sure you get the book. This is not a brand new copy. It shouldn't be very expensive. Used copies are okay. This is the 2010 edition. Make sure that you do have that edition, but 2010 is a while ago. There are plenty of used copies out there. It's important that you have it with you at Immersion because we're going to be referring to it and we're going to be working with it. The other thing that you should make sure that you have is a copy of the APA 6th edition handbook. Just because this is a statistics class doesn't mean that we're not going to be using APA. And in fact, if we look at the APA handbook, when it comes to research design, dealing with statistical results, creating data tables, and reporting as analysis and results, all of that comes from the APA handbook. Make sure that you have it and you know how to use it. Also, make sure that you've read the CSP handbook, found it thrilling because it really is. You need to have access to a copy of that. There will be one posted in Blackboard for you as well. You need to bring with you to Immersion 3 quantitative articles that relate to your idea for the clinical scholarly project, and make sure that you've read them too. So pick 3 quantitative articles. At this point, I would hope that most of you are actually keeping all of your articles on a laptop because we use mostly PDFs now. Just make sure that you have them with you so that you can access them. Then, during the week of Immersion, make sure that we've read Chapter 1 of the Pollitt textbook. You could do that early if you wanted to get ahead. There's a Zellner et al. Article in week 1. You could probably do that early too if you wanted to get ahead. Robinson and Dickman et al. Are also in Blackboard. You'll be reading those during the week. Again, you could read those early to get ahead. And then in class, we're going to complete the first assignments for the class. We're going to do the SPSS labs, we'll do the group case study, quiz A, and we're going to begin the data collection and analysis plan in class so that you get support and we can work through things, answer questions, and guide you on your way. That way, with those first assignments, you're off in the right direction. So we've also attached a schedule for the entire Immersion that you'll find with the email that this video came in. When you get to Immersion on Monday, you're first going to check in. There's going to be a brief welcome back. Then we're going to break out just the biostats classes. We'll be in 110 or 111. And we're going to do an overview of the course. We're going to talk about the schedule. We're going to get information on Blackboard, make sure that everybody's on the same page there. We'll talk about student and instructor expectations. We'll set up some groups for some future assignments that we're going to be doing. And then we're going to start in really the content presentation. So provide some context for the DMP program and the Clinical Scholarly Project. We're going to start reviewing levels of measurement and descriptive statistics to make sure that everybody has the same foundation of information. Then on day one, we're going to start doing an SPS overview. We're going to actually get hands-on, roll up those sleeves, get dirty with SPSS, and begin to build the data file that you will use for the rest of the assignments in the class. At the end of the day, Cheryl Trobiani is going to come in and talk to you a little bit about the clinical placements. And then from there, we'll move in to Tuesday. Okay, there is some homework, some reading for Monday before we move on to Tuesday. And then in Tuesday, we're going to start talking about how to apply what we are doing in statistics to your Clinical Scholarly Project. Okay, we're going to talk about research design, and then again, we'll do some more statistical work, this time with z-scores. We'll close out in the afternoon by finishing up that SPSS data file and doing the first lab assignment for the class, where we're actually going to use our data file to run some descriptive statistics and make sure that we've created the data file correctly. On Wednesday, we're going to start talking a little bit more about writing for your Clinical Scholarly Project, how to incorporate the results of your statistical analysis actually into your CSP manuscript. We're going to talk about how to do the analysis assignments in the class and get started with analysis 1. Then after lunch, we're going to do a CER case study. This is a group assignment. You're going to get into groups and you're going to use a CER approach, which stands for Claim, Evidence, and Reasoning, to evaluate some research-based clinical articles and decide whether or not the evidence that's being presented supports the claim using the appropriate type of reasoning. And then you're going to do some presentations for Dr. Beisel and myself on those articles. Then finally, on Thursday, we'll have a check-in in the morning. You'll have some activities that we'll do, and then we'll do an overview of the immersion. We'll kind of wrap everything up so you know what we're doing for the rest of the class, and then we're going to begin building on the CER approach from the prior day to the midterm assignment for this course and the presentation that you'll be giving for your Clinical Scholarly Projects, and I'll explain all of that as well. After lunch, there will be an open lab. You can hang out, ask us questions, get help on assignments, and basically we'll stay until everybody is done. By the end of the first week, you're going to have submitted an SPSS lab, the group case study assignment, and your first quiz, being ready to hit the ground running in week 2. It is really important that you be there for the entire immersion. Absences are definitely not going to be allowed except in very unusual situations. And make sure that when you book your flights, you're booking your flights so that you don't have to leave early. That afternoon portion is really important to a major assignment in the class. It's going to get you the help and support that you need. And it's very important that you take advantage of that. Okay, so once again, we're providing that immersion checklist. Make sure you're ready to go and prepared to hit the ground running at immersion. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you first week of May, just a few weeks away in sunny California. We'll see you in Irvine.